Doesn't matter who says what, you'll always know who you are. We've tried that, doesn't work. Take away communication and things fall apart. Okay, everybody, we are doing session number 4, communication. All right, I'm just going to quickly recap. First session, I said to change your world, to change your marriage, you must change your thinking. All right, thinking must change from goal mindset to growth mindset. Then I said, I need to be a wife, I need to be a husband. And you are here for service. And then last time we talked about needs. We said work smart, not hard. All right. It's all about their needs, finding out what their needs is. All right. And then just before I start with communication, the last thing that I want to say about needs is that if you take 2 glasses and you would pour the water from the one glass to the other glass, you lose some water, and later on there's not enough water in either of the 2 glasses. All right. So with that picture, you can see the woman is filling the cup with water, and she's filling it at the tap. So what I'm saying is, you should fill by God. God is the one that it's where you should find your love, find your acceptance, find who you are. It's not your marriage partner's job. It's not where you should refill. Yes, you should absolutely look at your partner's needs, and that's very extremely important. But it's not, she can't or he can't be the source. The source must always be God. If you know who you are in God, if you know you're good enough, you're loved, you're accepted, nothing in this world can take that away from you. Doesn't matter who says what, you'll always know who you are. So you have to fill by God. All right, let's talk about communication. Right, now, the first picture there, I got some people sitting around a table with computers, and it says meetings. All right, we can't run a business without meetings. We can't run anything without meetings. Meetings is part of a weekly or daily things that people always do when they got businesses or whatever have to run. They got meetings. All right. For somehow reason, we think that we can run a house without meetings. We don't even have meetings to what are we going to do tomorrow, this week, coming, who's going to take the children. We have to have meetings. All right, the next thing, Genesis 11. All right, God knows how important it is for us to communicate. When the people was building that huge city, building that they wanted to reach heaven, what did God do? It says, come, let us go down and confuse their what? Language, so they will not understand each other. That's all he had to do. Stop the communication. And what happened? So the Lord God scattered them from there all over the earth, and they stopped building the city. What was important? Communication. Take away communication and things fall apart. All right. People come to me and say, the first thing I ask them, how's your communication? They say, we're not talking. Well, there's your problem, number 1. All right, let's look at the next one. All right, what is the big problem with communicating? First of all, we speak different languages. Like I previously said, woman talks woman, man talks man. Then, we don't really listen. All right. Sometimes I can look my wife in the eye and I don't hear what she's saying. All right. Or we don't listen at all. I mean, that happens as well. And then obviously, big problem, we make negative assumptions. As soon as we make negative assumptions, we falsely accuse, it just ends up in a fight. And then obviously, last but not least, we express ourselves incorrectly. It happened to me a lot of times. Then when I say something and my wife said, oh, you're saying this, and I say, okay, no, that's not actually what I meant. What I actually meant was, so I incorrectly express myself. So, all right. So, what do we do? How to share emotions without fighting. Right. The first thing, we have a guy there with a very big head there. If you want to communicate our emotions successfully, we have to get rid of pride. All right. You see that guy there? He thinks everything is turning around. It's okay. What it's saying is get over yourself. I mean, that is the shortest version of having a great marriage. Just do that. Get over yourself. It's not about you. All right, the next one, pride. It says there, pride goes before. It is in Proverbs 16, verse 18. It says, pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. Pride goes before destruction. Pride destroys relationships. Pride is a relationship killer, and that's why God hates it. That's one of the things God says He hates, pride. All right. Now, you see the four-way stop sign there. So, safe and successful driving has rules. And the exactly same on the next one, you'll see safe and successful communication has rules as well. And that's what I'm going to give you today. All right. So, rule number one. You can see it says, number one, never ever try to communicate or solve a problem when you're angry. We've tried that. Doesn't work. Me and my wife have tried it many times. It doesn't work. If you can get that right, please let me know. Because if you can get it right to communicate while you're angry, man, if you're angry, you say stuff you don't mean, you just hurt each other. There's no way you can communicate. So rule number one, if you're angry, don't try to solve problems or communicate. Next one says, anger is an emotion. All right, it's an emotion. Now, next one, you see those people that look like puppets on strings. It says, emotions are natural and there is nothing wrong with them. However, we must control them or they will control us. Remember that. The next one, the prison is full of people who were controlled by their emotions. If you let your emotions control you, it's going to be devastating. The next one, Job 15 verse 12 says, why does your heart carry you away? Allow you to be controlled by emotions. Romans 8 verse 6, so letting your sinful nature control your minds lead to death, but letting the Spirit control your mind leads to life and peace. What is it saying? The next one, it says, Galatians 5:17, for the sinful nature has a desire which is opposed to the Spirit, and the desire of the Spirit opposes the sinful nature. For these two, the sinful nature and the Spirit, are in direct opposition to each other, continually in conflict. Continually. So you can see the two gloves there, flesh versus spirit. Fits of anger, gentleness, self-control. These two will constantly be in conflict with each other. All right. The next one, self-control, is like a muscle. You must train it. All right. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. It's easy as that. So, next one, never reply when you're angry, never make promises when you're happy, and never make decisions when you're sad. Don't let your emotions lead you. Have control over them. So, rule number one was, next one is don't communicate or solve a problem when you are angry, but there's a but. All right, but. just as important, you must deal with it during communication. All right. So you can't sweep it under the rug. You can see those people are sweeping everything under the rug, and the wife is telling her husband, hey, we need a bigger rug. All right. So don't sweep it under the rug. All right. Can't just leave it. All right. You must deal it the correct way. Now, this comes to the second rule, and it says, the second rule, make time for communication. And it says there, no distractions. You can't make time for communication while one is busy washing the dishes, or one's watching TV, or one's answering the phone. No distraction. It's like a date. Make a date. All right. Next one. Time is like coffee. You have to make it. Easy as that. You'll never find time. You have to make time. All right. I've seen with friends of ours, we said the one year, hey, we must go camping. He wants to go and fish at the river, so we must go and camp at the river. And we must really do it this year. And it just never happened. The following year, what we did is we took the calendar and we checked which weekend will be available. We marked that weekend. We made a date, and that year we went camping. All right. So if you're going to think it's time, you're going to find time, you won't find time. You'll never find time. Time is like cupboards. You'll just fill it up. All right. You'll never find. You have to make time, like coffee. All right. So what am I saying? Next one, book an appointment. Set a day. Like the same way you book an appointment at the doctor, make an appointment. Say, Lovey, Tuesday night, 9 o'clock when the kids are asleep, I want to please. Or you got lunchtime Wednesday between 12 and 1. Can I take you for a coffee date? And we can go and sit in it. So make an appointment, a day and a time. Both day and time. All right. So now you'll see this. Big words. Now, 3 steps to share emotions safely. All right. So now you made a date. Now it comes to the sharing part. All right. Now, number 1, there's 3 steps. First step is thank your partner for at least 3 things that they did right or what you liked about them. So when you start out with the communication, you can name 3 things that they did right, what you liked about him. All right. Next one. You can see the yellow balls there and 1 white ball. Just as easy as it is to spot the white ball, just as easy is to spot the bad. We always see the bad in each other. We always see the mistake. And even if it's just one, we see it. All right. If I've got a room full of chairs and there's one turned around, I'll say, hey, check that chair is turned around. But I'm not saying that 99, it's okay. So, all right. Then the next one. It's very easy to talk about other people's mistakes. Gossip. We don't talk about the things they do right. We always talk about their mistakes. We like to talk about the mistake. It's something that we do naturally. All right. So we naturally look at the negative. That's why I'm saying you have to force yourself to name 3 things. But of course, I want to change your focus on the things that the other person is doing right. All right. So the next one. In Proverbs 15, verse 15, it says, and I took this actually from the Afrikaans version. It says, all the days of the depressed are bad. Not if you have a bad day, you'll be depressed. No, all the days of the depressed person will be bad. And the glad heart has a continual feast. What is it saying? It's saying, when you are complaining, you become a living, breathing crap magnet. That's what it's saying. Exactly. All right. And another example of that is obviously the Israelites. Again, in Numbers 14 verse 2, it says, their voices rose in a great chorus of protest against Moses. And they kept on saying this. They kept on saying, if only we had died in Egypt or even in the wilderness. They complained. It was like a chorus. They said it over and over and over and over again. And what did God say? Well, okay, you will drop dead in the wilderness because you complained. So, it seems to me that the people in the promised land, the giants wasn't the problem. The attitude was the problem. All right. So, when you complain, you are ungrateful. That's it. All right. So, I always say, we use this in our house always. Whenever you complain, anyone complains about anything in the house, we name 3 things that you're thankful for. That'll start changing your focus. That will start bringing good things to you. Stop complaining because what? You attract crap. You're bringing trouble into the house when you complain. I had a thing the other day that's, wow, it's not easy to do, but it says, worship to God is exactly what complaining does to the devil. He loves to hear it. All right. He sends the bad things. All right. So, every time you complain, mention 3 things that you're grateful. The next thing, attitude. Hey man, that lady's got an attitude there. All right. I have no idea. Are they trained like that or are they born like that? But I don't think somebody trained her. All right. Now, it says, have an attitude of gratitude. Let's look at Numbers again, 14:24. God said, but my servant Caleb has a different attitude than the others have. So I will bring him into the land he explored. And then another one that I just love, Psalm 37:4. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. All right. Caleb received because he had a different attitude, an attitude of gratitude and an attitude of it's possible, we can. All right. So, gratitude, listen carefully, gratitude makes what we have enough. Wow. Gratitude. Whatever you have, gratitude will make it enough. All right. So, what am I saying actually here is don't focus on their mistakes. Focus on what they're doing right. That's why rule number 1 is when you start your communication is name 3 things that they did right. All right. Then, so that was step number 1. Step number 2. If you share an emotion, a need, or something that you would like them to do differently, only mention 1. Now I think, but there's a lot of things. If you got 10 things that you want to mention, choose 1. Choose the one that's most important. It would just define the object. If you name 3 things what you liked about your husband or wife, and then name 40 that's wrong with him, how are they going to feel? It's not going to work. Choose 1 and just name that 1. And if you have a problem with that, just check your pride again. All right. So, now, sharing emotions has 1 rule. Never accuse. And I'm going to explain to you now. The next picture. You see those 2 people? They're definitely watching a movie and it doesn't seem like a romance or a comedy. It looks like a thriller or whatever. They look pretty scared. They're grabbing the cushions. And now, are they really? They're obviously experiencing fear there. But are they really in a situation that they are in danger? Nope. But their minds and their bodies are experiencing this, and that's why they look like that. So what I'm saying is, the emotions that you experience is your truth, but not the truth. Listen carefully. The emotion that you experience is your truth, but not the truth. Let me explain to you. All right, now we're going to make a cup magically appear. Watch this. Okay, and there it is. There's the cup. Yes. All right, the mug. All right, so if I put a mug between two people and ask them which side of the ear the mug is, one would say left and the other one would say right. My question is, both are looking at the same mug. So who's right? Who's lying? All right. So what am I saying? We can look, I mean, it's happened to me and my wife a lot of times. We've been in the same situation. It's the same thing that happened. But what she is saying and what I'm saying is not the same. All right. So who's lying? Who's right? We try to convince ourselves. Imagine we are arguing now. Now it's right. Now it's left. Now it's right. Now it's left. We're going to just keep on like this forever. Forever. So what I'm saying is my truth is my truth, but it's not the truth. All right. And the cup is going to disappear again. Okay, so now the mug is gone again. All right, now, so the reason why I told you that is it's very important for the next part that I want to explain how to share these emotions. All right, now, first thing, I'm gonna give you a situation, but I first want you to remember this. Remember I said woman, man. I've got the picture there. It says woman talks emotion, man talks facts. And then what she's saying is not what she's saying, and what he's saying is what he's saying. All right, check now. Here's an excellent example of that. I got this example from Family Foundation International. It's an international group. If you ever can do some of their seminars, it is really, really, really do it. You will absolutely find it amazing. The Ancient Paths seminars are excellent. All right. So, Tom decides to spoil Mary for an ice cream. Okay. So Tom is taking his wife, and they got to the ice cream place, and he asks Mary, "What do you want?" She says, "Choc 99, please." Now, it's been years since they went for ice cream, and out of surprise, for the price increase, Tom said, "What? $100 for Choc 99? All right. So Mary replies, "All you think of is money." And Tom says, "No, I think of a lot of other things. I think about work, I think about the children, I think about..." All right. So what happened here? First of all, she's not saying what she's saying. She is saying, all you think about is money. What she's actually saying is, you know what? It feels like money is more important to you than I am. It feels like the $100 is more important than I am. That's what she's actually saying. All right. What he is saying, he's surprised. Wow, is this $100? He's not saying money is more important than her. All right. That's what she is. But she's just saying what he's saying. And then, obviously, he talks facts. She talks emotions. He talks facts. He says, "I think about a lot of things." He's thinking on the fact that she says you're not thinking of money. All right. So that is how women and men, the communication could really just be 100% different. And it creates problems. All right. Because of the way that we communicate. All right. So women talks emotion, men talk facts. Right, now the next one says, why did it end up in a fight? Two things happened. Rule number 1 was broken. Don't communicate when you're angry. Okay, she got hurt, naturally, she got hurt, but then she reacted immediately. All right. Then number 2, she took offense. Right, let's talk about offense just for a minute. The next one, bait. Offense is the bait of Satan. All right. Why do we call it bait? You know, when I was a child, we liked to try to catch doves. We normally had a little cage with a stick, and then we threw in some bait there in the cage and hope the dove will come in, and then we can just pull out the stick and then catch the dove. All right. So it's bait. It's bait for Satan. Why? All right. So the offense that she took, money is more important than I am. All right. The offense that she took, next one. Offense will keep you in jail. The same way we caught that dove, that's exactly what it's going to do. Offense keep you in jail. And then forgiveness sets you free. All right. So the next one, very important. Offense is never given. It is taken. It's like a fruit. All right. The enemy did not force. He didn't pick the fruit and gave it to Eve. She took the fruit. And that's what we do. We take offense. Offense wasn't given. Nobody gives us offense. We take offense. All right. So what should have Mary done in this situation? Number one, choose. And I'm saying choose because it's not naturally. Your natural reaction, I'm hurt, I'm going to hurt you back. That's a natural. Remember, flesh and spirit. Remember that? All right. So now you have to not react to the flesh, react to the spirit. All right. So you're going to choose. She chose to focus that he took her for the ice cream. After all, he took her for the ice cream. Number two, choose to enjoy the ice cream. You have to make this choice now. It's not going to happen naturally. Right. And then, very important, share your feelings in a communication session. Normally, if something happens between me and my wife, she did something perhaps that hurt me, I would wait 24 hours. It's just my personal rule. I wait 24 hours. I will not mention it before at least 24 hours has passed. I've seen many times, before even I went to her to talk about the situation or what happened, she comes to me and says, oh, yeah, I'm sorry I said that, or I'm sorry for that. So, never immediately. So, the next one is never accuse. Very important. Remember the mark that I said. Don't say all you think of is money. That's accusing. Don't say money is more important to you than I am. That is accusing. So what must you do? Remember I said emotion that you experience is your truth, but it's not the truth. All right? Remember the two people watching the movie? Now the next one. Say how it made you feel. Because that's your truth. Not the truth, it's your truth. And that's what you're going to share. So, the correct way of doing this is, yesterday when you said $100 for a chalk 99, it made me feel that I'm not worth the money. All right. So now you're not accusing. You are just saying how something made you feel. And that is your truth. And that's a truth that cannot be argued about because that's what you experience. Although it's not the truth, it's your truth. All right. So that's the sharing part. That's the easy part, sharing. All right. You just don't accuse. You say it's how it made you feel. That's the easy part. The difficult part is the listening part. Man, that's not easy. That is not easy. You'll see there it says listening has 3 don'ts. Sharing had 1. Don't accuse. That's it. Listening, 3 don'ts. All right. So just before I name the 3, the next one says handle with care. When your spouse shares an emotion, it is fragile ground. If this is going to end up in a fight, he or she will not share emotion again. That's when things are going to be swept under the rug. And that is devastating. So you have the opportunity. You have an opportunity to create a safe place to share emotions. That is your job. Create, that's all it's about. Create a safe place to share emotions. Who's right, who's wrong, doesn't matter. Not at all. A pride check again quickly. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. It's about creating a safe place. All right, so 3 don'ts. The first don't, that's the difficult one. Well, all of them are difficult, but the first one is don't take offense back. All right, imagine he thinks, I treat her and that's what she thinks of me? I mean, man, I take her for ice cream and that's what she thinks? That's the person she thinks I am? Hey, man, that must hurt. So, when she says it, most probably it's going to hurt. It's not going to be easy to listen. But don't take offense. The first don't. The second don't is don't use self-pity or accuse back. For instance, I'm never good enough. I can't do anything right. Or the favorite one, you did exactly the same thing. We like to tell those ones, those to our partners. All right, so that's the second don't. First, don't take offense. Number 2, don't use self-pity or accuse back. And then the third one is the hardest one, the most difficult one. All right, it says, don't explain. When you listen, don't explain. Now you're going to say, why must I have to explain to her? No. Don't explain except if they ask you for explanation or if it's going to make them feel better. I'm going to say this again. Don't explain except if they ask for it or if it's going to make them feel better. It's not about who's right. It's creating a safe place to share the emotion. Remember the mug. Check the mug there. Remember, it's not about who's right. Explaining makes them feel you're not listening. If you try to explain, I know there's a logic explanation to what happened, but now is not the time to mention it. It's not. You're creating a safe place. That's it. Listen. Just listen. Okay, explain makes them feel that you're not listening, and the second one, explaining, makes it about who's right. It's not about who's right. The next picture, again, pride check. Get over yourself. It's not about you. All right. Now the answer, the correct way. Answering correctly has 2 rules. All right. Only 2 rules. Number 1 is acknowledge the emotion, and number 2 is say sorry for how you made them feel. That's it. Nothing more. All right, I say again, acknowledge the emotion and say sorry for the way you made them feel. So, here's the way, here's an example for you. All right, it says, I'm sorry that I made you feel that you are not worth the money. It wasn't my intention. So, first of all, you acknowledge that you mentioned the feeling again. You said, feel that you were not worth the money. All right. And obviously, I am sorry that I made you feel that way. All right. That's how she felt. And that's how, not intentionally, it wasn't his plan. All right. And yes, it wasn't my intention. All right. Now, remember I said, don't explain except, the next slide, don't explain except if they ask for it or if it's going to make them feel better. The next one, there's an example of how it's going to make them feel better. For you, I'll pay $1,000 for an ice cream. Okay. Hey, lovey man, for you, I'll pay $1,000 for ice cream. That's going to make them feel better. All right. Now, the biggest problem that I have, that people come to me and say, he's only answering me that way because you said he must answer me that way. Okay. Saying, I'm sorry that I made you feel like that. It wasn't my intention. Baron said you must say that, so you're only saying this because Baron said yes. No, that's not the truth. The truth is, it wasn't his intention to make you feel like that. Never was his intention. Not one of us wake up in the morning and say, I wonder how I can hurt my wife today. Or, hey, I wonder what I can do to hurt my husband today. Let me think of something. No. You hurt your husband. You hurt your wife. unintentionally. It happens. Things that you say, do unintentionally, it happens. So, accept that. When he says, I'm sorry and it wasn't my intention, he or she means it. So, that's the next one. The end. You see, the end, like the movies, the end. All right, that's it. The communication is over. All right, listen. Now you choose to forgive. You don't mention it again. It's over. I don't want to hear about the ice cream in a month's time again. It's over. The end. Nothing further. It feels extremely weird. I know, me and my wife, it really felt weird when we did it that way the first time. It's like, okay, but there's no argument. There's nothing's happening. It's just said the right words and applied the rules and, well, that's it. And it felt weird. My wife was like, are you angry now? I said, no, I just don't know what to say. It's like weird. All right. So, again, just remember, get over yourself. You'll see the little guy there. If everything is going smooth, I've got another slide there. If everything's going smooth and you don't have any issues and whatever, yeah, still make time for communication. Just chat about your day. Just talk to each other. All right. And then my favorite two questions. Is then, men, ask your wife, is there anything that I could have done different today? All right. And women, just one question. Do you want to make love? And you'll have an awesome marriage. All right. Here's a short bonus. All right. I just want to say something about money just quickly, because a lot of people, money is an issue and a problem in marriage as well. So, yeah, just quick ones. All right. Number one is, nobody plans to be poor. It happens to people that don't have a plan. You need to plan together. Okay, you and your wife need to have a plan. Just don't think that life will just happen and everything will be okay. Have a plan. All right, and plan together. Next one, budget. Very important, budget. Next one, you'll see the money there. Tithe. God says, give and you will receive. I will open the floodgates of heaven. I can promise you, I've done it, I've seen it. God has always opened the floodgates for us. So, tithe. Even people that don't believe in God know that if they give, they receive. More comes back than we give. All right. Then the next one, it's easy one, is when you have to make a financial decision. If both of you say yes, it's yes. If both say no, it's no. It's easy. But if one says yes and the other one says no, it's no. It's like maths. Plus a minus is a minus. All right. Both must agree. Otherwise, sorry. Next tip, never shop on an empty stomach. You'll buy things you don't need. Next one, have a shopping list and compare prices. If it's not on the list, you don't buy it. And then the last one, this will make your money last. You'll always get through in the month if you do this one. Don't buy what you need, buy what you can't survive without. All right? Look at the item. Will I die if I don't have it? No, I won't. Leave it. All right. So, guys, now with only one session left, the last session, it's the session with all the answers. You've got a lot of information now, over 4 sessions, and number 5 is the applying part. Number 5 is helping you to actually do all these new information that you have received.